Oh, hello everybody. We're going to go through the pain of setting up a new spaceport today. Well, no, it's actually going to be fun. I was lying. So, last time when I left off, I have actually managed to set up the iron, the copper, the stone, no, the iron and the copper that I think I'll need for the whole spaceport project. Oh, wait a sec. Need that. So, let's see. Sorry, there was something at the doorbell which sounded way too frenetic. So, let's see where we're going to be at with that. We got these two streams of goods that we need to transport, and we got these two streams of goods to transport. I want to make all the smelting happening on this side, and then I want to transport the stuff that we need over there. So one first thing catches my eye: landfill. I could use landfill. I definitely could use more landfill. Let's see what our refineries have came up with so far. I mean, this whole project works out pretty decently. We also seem to have no backlogs of sorts. Everything seems to work out fine for the very moment. Let's just hope it'll stay like that. Okay. Alright, so the real bummer is we're going to need basically everything that I already have set up somewhere else again. I was really thinking a lot between this and the last episode, and I was really sad, and next time I would really say the moment I set up this one here for the yellow science, I'd be ideally immediately setting up a factory which can supply the yellow science and the spaceport at the same time. That has been, in my humble opinion, a real big mistake of mine, because well, I could have been so much further already, basically. But well, hindsight is always 20/20, especially in Factorio. We are going to go and empty our pockets now a little bit, and I'm going to think a bit about where to put the landfill. I don't want to produce, I don't want to produce landfill deliberately, because that's just eating up resources like crazy. But I like to use the overspill of whatever's for that. Okay, so let's see. I have made electric smelters somewhere. I do remember that I made them somewhere here, somewhere where the heat platings are at. Exactly. So now we also have electric furnaces, which is going to be a big game changer for the entire smelting business, because this time we are not needing to put up a entire supply of fuel for the ore production, which is going to be amazing. You will see. So we're going to grab ourselves all the inserters. I know that we're going to need all the inserters that we can get. I am building smelting I'm building smelting facilities, so we're going to need all the furnaces. Okay then. Let's think. This train here, let's see, it ultimately leads to the stone deposit here, so it is something which will not last indefinitely here. Okay, good to know. Well, let's see how I'm getting this stuff here out of that sticky situation there. So one belt of that is going to be steel, and one belt of that is going to be plain old iron. We discovered a new planet called Hagen, or a moon. I'm stunned by the amount of objects around me, just in the starting system. Hey, Patrick, welcome. I'm so happy to see you, man. What's a sight to behold? Have I missed something? Alright, so let's get this party started. We are going to produce for the first time with electric smelters, so let's see if anything is different, quantity-wise, if we go for these. So, let's see. Why the hell? Oh yeah, okay, because of that. So, we are going to run, sadly no industrial furnaces yet, but these bad boys. But if I remember correctly, the quantity is the same. 48 of these bad boys. Jeez, that's going to be such a drain on my power grid. But on the other hand, I know that it's worth. My factory? Oh, thank you, man. I think it's a hot mess, but I think every Factorio player thinks bad of his factory, or most of us at least. I haven't met too many people that are positively convinced about their factory without being douches constantly. No, that's also not right. You know what I want to say. Being slightly unsatisfied with your setup is the name of the game, I think. So that's a cluster of 5. Do I want to go for one long line? I think so. Yeah, I think this part where I'm at right now is the wall a lot of people hit and get stressed out by it. I think this is the real tough wall there to set up the real deal space logistics. It's one thing to get to the part where we're setting up yellow science. That already is a feat. It's a feat to tackle. But I personally think now setting up this entire thing as something that can work automatically and constantly, that's a real challenge. All right, so we're going to go. Which way with that stuff? Definitely that way. So the belt will run that way. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We're always, I think it's pretty typical for Factorio players to be very harsh on themselves and very praiseful to others. But I always feel like this sounds like the game sports a pretty good behavior to human beings. So that's 24 of these suckers. Oh my god, this is going to be such a terribly long line. Oof. Well, okay. Let's copy that one more time. I like to put them as a stick like that so I can see how terribly far it'll go. So 48 of these in one line are going to get past my trains. Ugh. Alright, whatever. It's not that much of a big deal. We're just going to add in one extra. Exactly, exactly. Now the real space exploration content begins. I basically stopped my last playthrough at exactly the same pod. Except for, no, I was a little bit further down the road. But yellow science was a lot easier to set up back then, so I think it's just, yeah, quite similar. The old save file also had way easier access to nuclear power. Unfair. I'm really a little bit pissed about what has happened to nuclear power. Like after I have thought a lot about it, without Kovarex, I doubt that any player will set up a nuclear power facility on. I think you get what I think you understand what I want to say. So drop near, copy 1, 2, 3. So that's 4. Yeah, that's me counting my inserters. Checking out if they are all, if all my inserters are still together. Get a weight calculator. I don't want you. Shoot. So, let's see. Yeah, those were 24 calculators. Not calculators. Inserters. But this is quite important, otherwise we'll not have a full throughput. So, yeah, we can copy that right away. And set it up another time. No, not the warehouse, you silly blueprint. Now we're going to go over here like that. Because we need that same setup once more for the steel first. Yeah, I usually do that. Just wanted to do something, Yeah, okay. The blue belts, they don't exist anymore. What are you talking about? What blue belts? I only have these crappy thingies here. So, I'm out of nanobots. But I totally agree with you, the double width things looking like it's more manageable though. But on the other hand, I have way less trouble with balancing it out on at the end of the line. I can't just plot out one flat belt. And I felt like we had the space for once. Well, that's my usual approach, the one you were referring to. You mean something like that, don't you? These. So blue belt is now higher tech than these, I see. Yeah, oopsie. Here. Yeah, that's the one with the space science. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So we have to go to space now first before we can get the next higher tiered efficiency of belts on Novice. Shh. Wow. There are so many new brutalities in the mod pack. Gotta say. But that's okay. This way the mod pack also pleases the dudes that have bajillions of hours in this game. I think that's a necessary evil. Alright, but I already am out of electric furnace, so let's change that. Well, a lot of things that I knew how they work now completely differently. That's a little bit of a problem there. So, how's my accumulator factory, by the way? Oh, dang it. I need to change that. So we have 12 hours left for the coronal mass ejection, but here, belt ain't even full yet, so dig in deep. We need them batteries. That's way too many batteries. I know. Well, let's make it. Let's make it just 3 containers. I think 5,000 accumulators might be enough. Although I didn't run the math on that this time. I'll have to crunch that through the calculator, but let's just leave it like that. We'll get zone so far with 5,000 of these guys. For sure. So let's refresh our reserves with that stuff, and you see there yellow inserters already. I had 250 of these guys on me. 250. These fresh smelter columns are a mass grave for yellow inserters. Ow. Man. Rip your mall. Jeez, that sounds terrible. That definitely motivates me to get that going ASAP. Although I think I really will need more power generation to fill that up. But I'm quite optimistic. I have millions of oil here, and I am willing to put up this more of these millions of oil just straight out into fuel generation, just to get that solar flare thing out of the world, because it outright frightens me. Yeah, for some reason you're carrying 600 yellow inserters. I also don't know how these things happen. They just happen. Nobody knows, so it's a mystery. Okay, so let's set up the copper next. Satellite discovered. Pontus. A new star. Wait a sec. A new star means that we found let's see. Include spaceships. Stellar map here. Open me the... Yeah, we're now starting to get into these. Why has the sun a surface? I just look like a meteorite. Whatever. I have other things to do. So, let's say we're going to copy this thing once more. Drop. And let's see. I'm going to go like here. Can I get into these this way? Yes, I can. Wonderful. So, they don't know it yet, but they're going to be copper smelters. I don't want to know the power drain on my grid once these things are all running at once. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I still have to go into space for real before I can actually think about what to do with these areas. But I gotta say, I do avoid other content creators like as much as I can, because I really want to discover the stuff as much as I can on my own. So let's see, we're going to do this as follows. Oh, that doesn't work, doesn't it? These conflict, eh? Well, no props though. We're going to go just like that. Get that connector a little bit later. It doesn't matter. What matters is that this thing receives the water. Okay. Close quarters here. Close quarters. But, well, such is life in Spaghetti Land. Oh, you know what? I actually don't like that. One trick that really helped me out a lot lately was to start pulling my logistics reverse. Like, starting from the spot where the goods are supposed to land at the end, instead of starting my logistics build-up from the spot where the stuff is produced, like you saw there. The line is now much more tidier, because I didn't go for any extra detours or the like. Here the same. Because I really want to get better at... will that conflict somehow? Let's be safe, rather safe than sorry. I really want to get better at these, what you call it, more efficient, want to get better at more efficient pathing for my belts. Because I really feel like I'm wasting quite often a lot of space with, to all manner of different hiccups. Captain Jack, welcome. Yeah, solar energy will be also quite nicely here, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of atomic power generation in Factorio in general, because once you have Kovarex running, it's well, it's all you need now. I heard a lot of people are concerned about the footprint in the into the UPS, like slowing the game too much down. But I always felt like, how can atomic power slow down your computer that hard? Because it's just the Kovarex and the stuff being input into generators. But I don't know what people are building there. It's people are total psychos when it comes down to upscaling things. I'm a rookie here. As far as I know, Captain Jack is a fellow automation gamer in general. So let's see. Oh, we have some audience. Nice. Yeah. Really working hard on developing a tidier playstyle. Yeah. That's how I wanna call it. But who doesn't, I guess. Alright, so 100 inserters will be enough? I doubt. Well, let's pick up the usual suspects, except for the fact that my production has trouble keeping up with the amounts I'm picking up out of the system. Solar is basically just panel output times panel amount. Thank you, Patrick. That actually does make sense. So, it's the amount of calculation steps that that get reduced when you go solar. Thank you. Ooh, I respect your ability to orient yourself in 3D environments. I'm really looking forward to Satisfactory though. Damn, I forgot the electric furnaces. Once it's more close to the completed version, because for me it's not a game to sink my teeth real deep into, because I have a hard time keeping my orientation in the 3D environment. You know. But Satisfactory is an awesome game. So far as I have seen, I consider it the best 3D factory game out there right now. So, dear smelter thingies, you are supposed to do something else. Yeah, exactly. I'm a control freak, Patrick. And Satisfactory gives me the feeling that I have no control over my factory whatsoever, and that's something that disturbs me when I play the game too long. It gets worse and worse the bigger the scope gets. And yeah, that's the issue between me and Satisfactory. Okay, we have now the basics for our spaceport down. It's been easier than I thought, but the real nasty parts are coming up now, don't you worry. So first things first, we will require now a steel production. For that, we're going to require a coke production. So I wanted to try out one thing for the first time. I wanted to try out that wood production recipe with the fertilizer, because I figured that I'd love to have only 5 frickin' greenhouses running instead of all these super huge chunks all the time. Also, it seems to be much more forgiving on the sand consumption. So we're going to require nitric acid and biomatter in that regard. Oh god. So, well, should we put the fertilizer on a separate tab? I think so. Because it looks like one of those topics where I want to pluck my eyeballs out. So, fertilizer. Let's go. I don't think it's that terrible. Just over-exaggerating right now. So we can go for that. We're going to need what? A puny amount of 0.1 units of fertilizer. Okay, it's really not much. So let's see. If we compute that by factory, how much output does one chemical facility have? Half a unit of fertilizer. Come on, let's go like that. So we compute that to work with one factory. I personally like that always the most. So nitric acid comes together out of ammonia, rare metals, and mineral water. Oh god, can it be a little bit more complicated? This is all too easy. Jeez. So we need rare metals and ammonia. How do we get ammonia? By slapping hydrogen and nitrogen together. So how do we get hydrogen? I guess it's about water, eh? So water separation in a electrolysis plant. We do that. And then... Good lord. And all that just to produce some fertilizer. I find that pretty nasty. And the nitrogen, but that is made in some atmospheric compressor. No biggie. Okay. Well, I thought so, Patrick, that you need to aim for huge, for really, really huge amounts to get into these problems. And thank you, Captain Jack. I really love to hear that, because I value people watching this stuff here. So we can create the hydrogen we need also, or no, the oxygen we need also here via the electrolysis plant. Pretty neat. So, well, we need just a tiny amount of 2 petrol gas for that. I'm really considering to produce the nitric acid back at my core crushing facility, because I have pretty much all the stuff I need there. Except for those effing rare metals, but I think we're going to go for some rare metals that aren't refined for once. You don't need to refine at all. I only think that refining is absolutely mandatory when you go for mass production, but yeah, I already have one mining facility for the rare metals going. So, we do have all the necessary materials here, don't we? And we have 42 U-235. My god. So slow. So slow. Alright, I got mineral water here. Well, okay, the rare metals are getting output there. Ah, you know what? Screw that. There's so much work involved in that. And, I know. I'll just bite the bullet and pay double the amount of greenhouses and pay more sand. I don't feel like I would be getting that much more out of it as of yet. Once we have to set up larger scales, we will, of course, then I'll be considering building a real fertilizer plant, and then And then we're going to have a use for those excess materials you're talking about, Patrick. But I feel like when I'm setting up such a small scale facility, it feels like a bad joke to do this to myself. Like, you know, just for producing 1 unit or half a unit of fertilizer going through all that. No, that's just no. If I'm going to do all that, I want to produce something like, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 units of fertilizer at once, so we can spread that out through the entire factory. Consider handcrafting coupled production modules for the pulverizers. That's a nice idea. I've never been utilizing modules enough, in my humble opinion. So thanks for that pointer. So I have way too much fuel on me, but I did that on purpose because I know that I have these portable generators on me. So we can feed the legs. You know? There we go. Still got a lot of fuel left over there, though. Dang it. And yeah, RimWorld is a hell of a game. I'm so sad that I have already so many hours in it that I, you know... It is a little bit, I'm a little bit through with it for the moment, that is. I know that this will only last a couple of months at best, and then I'm back at it, but right now I'm taking a hiatus. So, production modules. Let's see. Speed module, productivity module, efficiency module, energy consumption, extra products, machine speed. So, we're talking about these, I guess. Hey, Twitch. Hi there. So happy to see you. So, we're going to slap that copper ore in there, and I got lots of enriched copper. I don't want that either. Okay. So finally, things are coming together here. Take that. Now, we'll have to set up a supply of stone, a supply of oil, and a supply of coal. These 3 materials are absolutely mandatory for our spaceport. Won't work without. So, let's see, what are we going to do about that? I do have a warehouse of each, so we just need to localize that. Probably we're also going to need rare metals. Where's my stone warehouse, though? Here's my coal warehouse, so let's start with that. So we're going to require a output into that direction. So how exactly do I want to set up my spaceport? I think I want to keep the area up here for the sake of smelting stuff, but we're probably going to produce our intermediates over here first, and then we're going to pipe it downwards. I definitely want to utilize the train tracks at some point further down the road. The interesting part about these efficiency modules is that they don't seem to have any downside, as far as I can see. They merely have benefits, whereas the other thingies, they all have downsides. Yeah, so, I like your approach there to say we're going to go for efficiency modules, probably. It'll require a ton of investment, but I could cut down the energy consumption of these furnaces by a ton. But you're sidetracking me with good ideas there. Well, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. I don't have the infrastructure right now to set up the mass production of modules, but I'm definitely considering the green ones for the power footprint of this thing, because this thing will eat a lot of energy. I can already tell. Let's see, do the core miners actually also accept... Here. So core miners don't have module slots. We could beacon it, though, don't we? Ah, I don't need the level 2s. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, but that's now going too far for me. All right, where was I? You're not good for my focus with all your good ideas and stuff. No, thank you, seriously. I like these. I like to know these things. So let's just keep going here and widen this spot here. Oof. There goes all my landfill. Okay, maybe I do need to create a facility for slapping out landfill. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's easy to get excited about the possibilities in this game. I totally get you there. I totally get you. So, considering my current landfill situation, it would be easier to make the steel come together right here. So probably we're going to make that... So what's that? This is the stone supplier for a lot of different things. So let's see if I can't tap into that and see what'll happen there. But I do like the idea to slap out efficiency modules into my electric smelting, because I figured that will be a massive increase with my power grid. Especially important right now that we have to deal with the fact that we don't have nuclear power available. The longer I think about it, the more I like the mod pack for doing this to me, because this makes me consider new ways and not go like... Herder, let's go, nuclear power problem solved, done. I really like that, because a lot of my previous playthroughs were like that, where I was just like, okay, let's go nuclear, done. Pretty cool in that regard, although it's also quite a lot of pain. So, Lucien producer, there we go. And do I have the necessary greenhouses on me? I actually do. I do sometimes scare myself with all the crap in my pockets being actually useful. So I'm running this a little bit further away now from these. Let's break the power supply here. 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. A new star called Arione. So, did we actually break any power supply? Don't think we did. Nice. There we go. One feature I love about the Krastorio space exploration suit are the suite, I want to say, are the loaders. Loaders are just one of my favorite tools in this mod pack. Yeah, exactly. This way, I really feel like it's a lot of fun, a lot more fun if you have to, if you actually have a power minigame going on, so to say. Let's put the distributors here. Looking a little bit weird with those long-range distributors. Oh god. Are you kidding me? I hate it. So we're either not supplying these guys or I'm not supplying the other guys. Ugh. Yeah, but the problem remains, so... Then I'm going to make this worth it, though. There we go. So you guys all have no power now. I don't care. Power grid renovations. Now, tidier, eh? And we'll just connect them like that. So, we still need to fetch up water somewhere, but yeah, exactly. Sand, the sand consumption is not that insane. That's also why I wasn't willing to put up so much work into producing the fertilizer. Because I figured, yeah, I would save some... But... not worth the pain. Bet it's cool once you have it running and everything, but, say, shouldn't I have some water supply here somewhere lying around? Ah, here. Knew it. So, yeah, 3.33 water per sec. It's also not the biggest amount. So, let's pick up water from... Oh yeah, there. That's a good point. I gotta do this. For some nerdy reason, this really does help me a lot to keep track of where my fluid belts are running. To try to organize them together as much as I can. Yeah, I think the fertilizer-based production is really important once you hit the point where you have to produce, like, I don't know, 90 wood per second or whatever. Then we're talking about these things, I guess, but, yeah, the textures are amazingly good, aren't they? I keep being astonished by that, too. And this is even modded content, you know? This is a modded texture. As is this greenhouse. This is no original content. Original content, for example, these substations here. That's an original texture. These guys behind the space exploration Krastorio mod, they are really good at what they're doing right now. Okay, so we are producing now the iron we need for the coke production. But to go full cocoa, we need to bring up more about that. So let's see. This old coal belt. I bet that's the same coal belt I was using for... Ah, here. So that's supplying plastic. How much coal does that eat? Okay, we're not going to tap into that. I don't want to destabilize that. Ugh. I hate it. So that belt is a no-no. I think that belt is already pretty... But then on the other hand, how much coal does that actually need? 6.6. Dang it. So what's connected to that? We have seen that plastic factory. We have a very small-scale plastic factory, very small-scale iron facility. Let's check out how much that eats up. Here. So that's 1.5 coal per sec. That's 2 coal per sec. So we have 3.5 together with the 15, that's 18.5. Let's check on out what this is supplying except for that. So, we got here, this is also supplying these for fuel. But beyond that, it's also supplying these here. So we were at 18.5. Nah, just not coming together. I need an own supply there. The reddish texture on the bottom. That one? Sorry, I missed where you dropped that line. Okay, so, Houston, we got a problem. We need to distribute coal. Hate coal. Well, at least the distributor is not far away. So, at least a piece of good news. But let's just make this the distributor for the spaceport as well. Yeah, that must be the core miner. That sounds like you were talking about the core miners. These? If you're referring to these, that's a core mining drill. Drilling out core fragments, which we refine over here. It's basically a endless source of minerals. Yeah, Patrick summed it up. It's extremely good. So here's the coal. I want the coal go over here. So we're going to... Yeah, it's actually quite easy. We're going to make a accompanying belt there. No! I hate it when they do that. Okay, then. So it ain't as horrible as I originally thought. Well, give me here. Oh. We're not gonna. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, so you can't really trust that tool, can't you? Jeez. That almost went bad. So let's draw this towards here. And that's good for me. So this will be also a pretty long belt as well, because it's going to flow all the way down to the spaceport, where we're going to process that stuff into plastic. Maybe not, though. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do all the processing on this side of the island. We'll see about that eventually. Could be actually also an excellent idea. Alright, so this is going to be the source for the coke production. So how many smelters do we need for coke? 9. Alright, so we can now set that up here. There's no need to go any further than that. Except for, let's put it a little bit arranged towards these 5. Let's just copy that. So... And then, after all these things are set up and running, I'm going to check out how I can automate the production of green modules decently at my mall. Because you got me there, Patrick. I really want to get that done. I really like the idea of what you were proposing there. So, let's see. We have to put up this stuff here. So that's the coke for the steel. Instantly building belts? No. They changed that a while ago. Wait a sec, why are these yellow now at this point? Does it matter? The belt behavior, the building behavior has changed a while. Got improved by a lot. Here we go. So, now we'll require 30 units of iron plate and the coke, and transform that into steel. Alrighty, let's put that on a tab here. That'll help. Okay. So we can most definitely get that together here. And then we'll have a throughput of 10 steel plates per sec. But that's as good as it will get. Okay. And so now where do I want to put the smelters up? I think this looks like a good spot. 5. Wait a sec. We ain't going to run steel ones. 5, 10, 15, 16. There we go. So we'll go in for it, or a bit like that. Whoopsie. There we go. So I'll put that stuff on a red belt, mainly because I'm lazy. I could put that on a yellow belt too, but then I'd need to balance out the inserters, and I don't want to. Yeah, the nanobots were doing a lot of automatic building there. They use up ammo though, so they are basically like a verse version of construction bots. But in my scenario, I don't have that many technologies on my construction bots yet, and they'd be most of the time slower than my nanobots. And right now, as you see here, my armor is all legs, and therefore I decided to not go for the benefit of other things on my modular armor and stick with the nanobots in between. Now then, tell me that you are working out. Green lights. Green lights of happiness. Alright, we got now steel, we got iron, we got copper. Wonderful. I feel like it was a great idea to produce the steel still here on that island. And I think I'm going to produce the plastic here as well. And then pipe it on over to the next place. I feel like that's a great idea. Because this way, we can just set up the hot mess over here. And get the ball rolling somewhere else. But let's see. I'll need a lot of oil refining, but I luckily don't need to do that oil refining right here. Here, this is my big refinery for the sake of these things. So we'll just set up more refineries down here, I think. Will we? And then get the oil over here. But what I should try and check out in the very first place is check on out where I have where I will place down the 15 chemical facilities in that regard, because these will be quite a pain in the rear, spacing wise. So if I want that spaceport to be scalable, I cannot use this area here. So we could do the chemical processing over here though. And if I remember correctly, this entire train tracks here is a relic of ages past. Yeah, this train here ain't necessary anymore, so we actually can use all that room here. No biggie. We can rip out all the train tracks that are bothering me. Although, I maybe won't, because, you know, you can use them quite nicely there. So let's see. I got the coal here. So we can just wire that coal over on here. Let's see, just want to make sure that I don't conflict with my yellow science facility too much. So we might be even able to produce it all here. I mean, come on. Yeah, so should be totally possible. No biggie. Should be able to get 15 of these bad boys all connected here. So let's put the whole pipe tree up. Although in this scenario, for this it ain't much. Then let's see, inserter wise, we're going to need a blue one for the output and a yellow one for the insertion. And then we're just going to copy that and copy it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. There we go. Problem solved. So all I need to do now is to set up the oil refining, but let's see, I don't have enough oil refineries on me, and I most certainly don't have enough pipes on me. You never have enough pipes, because I'm not Mario. Okay, that was a lame joke. But I don't care. I'm a Factorio player. I think I'm allowed to make lame jokes. So I need 17 17 of these things, so for once I really just want to have exactly the amount of these baddies in my pocket that I need. Oh, I still have coke in my pocket that I can't lose. Alright, so to all of you who are hanging around here for the first time or not that often, so I've made a schedule nowadays, and this is going to be, Factorio will be something that'll be streamed on every Thursday now. So, if you want to see Factorio on my channel, it's going to be Thursday. Until I am done with this mod pack. It might take a few days. This doesn't mean that I won't be streaming Factorio outside of the Thursdays. This does only mean that every Thursday you'll have some automation-based gameplay on my channel. That's the plan. Okay, let's add up with our oil refining and see where this will get us. So, I mean, if I remember correctly, my entire oil refining setup is already configured in a way that I should be able to just slap in more refineries and pipe it out afterwards. And do I have mining machines on me? Yes, I do. What's Krastorio about? Krastorio is basically a vanilla expanded mod. It's a mod pack that tries to be as close as possible to vanilla, and at the same time tried to or does upgrade a lot of the things in the game, and adds in tons of more content, and yeah, lots of goodness in it. But I always considered Krastorio as the OG vanilla expanded mod pack, because if you come from vanilla Factorio, most of the things here won't be intimidating you too hard. It's not it's not aimed about super brutal challenges. It's more aimed about adding new stuff to a vanilla player who feels like he's seen it all and wants some more content in his life. That's how I would summarize Krastorio. So we're going to utilize this little ore patch here, because I gotta say, it might be only 90,000 iron, but I'd be a fool not to take it, you know? And Krastorio also offers a expanded late game where you have some high-tech technologies available that you don't have in the base game. Did I forget something? Please tell me if I did. So, we're going to require 17 refineries, so let's see if we can slap that up just like that. Would be amazing. Let's organize ourselves on this one. But I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. So if you were referring to that, Captain Jack, that's the Nanobots. Just place down a blueprint and the rest gets slapped down by the Nanobots. An insanely nice quality of life thing for this game. So, let's see. We get the raw oil from here. There is the raw oil distributor. So we're going to require a new distributor here. So, end of the line, our new distributor is going to be like that, except for the fact we're going to let it run like that. Great. So, the water. I'm going to set on up a bit of a water distributor here. Just like that. We are now discovering stars, alright? Our satellites are not exploring these star systems thoroughly, though. That's one thing that I'm realizing. So, another thing that I want to know now is how much oil per second do we eat up here? 960. So, the maximum amount for one pipe is 1,200. So we have to keep that in mind. At some point, this network will also be overburdened. That's right, Patrick, that's right. I forgot about that, yeah. Krastorio brings up a lot of new uses for underused materials, that's true. And that's what I personally feel like is one of the coolest parts about the mod pack, too. Big fan of Krastorio, gotta say. Big fan. So, let's connect our petrol gas output here, so we can use the regular distribution line, if we have one, that is. Let's see. Doesn't seem like I do. So it makes me wonder if whether or not I produced the petrol locally the last time. Okay. So that's pipe spaghetti. Spaghetti does not only come as a belt. Spaghetti is also something you can eat as a pipe. In Factorio, at least. So we're going to wire the petrol gas until we hit our stone thingy here. And then we're going to go upstairs with that stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the auto builder has its limitations. Oh yeah, but on point. So the next thing this setup requires, of course, is coal. We make our plastic out of coal. No, actually. And I'm super happy that I actually made it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here we have to do something weird at machine number 8. Machine number 8 has to have 2 inserters, because otherwise, you know, we have 15 machines producing 30 plastic bars. Each half of the belt can only carry 15. So how to balance that out? Only by putting 2 inserters at the machine in the middle. We can now go crazy and override the stack size and teach these suckers to just transport 1 plastic bar each. And then I think the distribution should be as good as it can be. Okay, nice. We got plastic now. And I didn't even have to produce it on site of the spaceport. That's what's making me extremely happy on top of that. Alright, so let's just say we're going to make it look like that for now. Okay, so plastic, steel, iron, copper. What's left? We need stone, for sure. And I think I can only think of sulfur, which we're going to need for the heat platings. But beyond that, I think I have all the basic resources together I need for this thing there. Alrighty. So it's going a lot better than I thought. I was really, I don't know, not looking forward to this episode. Do you know this? Sometimes you have just things to do in your run, and you're like, setting up the spaceport is one of these things, giving me these feelings. So we still have to do one big thing though, and that's setting up the electric circuit production. So let's see. For the spaceport, we're going to require what? I probably should handcraft one rocket silo so I can foresee better what we're going to need. So the delivery cannons, that's one thing. Delivery cannon chest. So, sadly, I don't know what you were referring to right now. I keep talking so much. So let's get on over and craft ourselves a cargo rocket silo, so I can better see what I'm getting myself into, you know. Alrighty, so 200 big electric motors. Yeah, looks like I should have brought up a little bit of a container here too, huh? Bummer. But whatever. Yeah, now I hear it. Yeah, I feel like these there are a couple of logistics operations in this game that are just strenuous tasks where you're just happy when you're done with it, and that's why I think a lot of Factorio players also try to make their builds as efficient as possible right from the get-go, because we all hate to do things twice, thrice, and more times if we can somehow avoid it. So, let's see, I need 10 steel chests as well. Not as if this would really take up much of my time, but I'm just grabbing the ingredients together. Alright, see you soon, Jack. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Hope you see you soon. Alright, so I'll just drop the 10 tanks I need for this thing. So, concrete and steel plate and radar. Can I handcraft those radars? Hell yeah. So 1,000 concrete, okay, but 1,000 steel? Wow. That's a steep cost. I think it's also one thing with Factorio that a lot of people get some wrong impressions, because there's only so few content creators for this game, and the few content creators you see a lot are complete gurus, you know? I don't want to talk bad about any, I don't want to make it sound like that's a bad thing, but if you are comparing yourself to somebody like, let's take the most famous example, Nilaus, you just shouldn't! This guy is playing the game on a level where you where you will need a few days to relate to its state of mind for real. You know, and that's one problem. There's just not enough noob gameplay for Factorio, so to say. I'm trying to fill this niche. Doing my best here. So 1,000 steel plates. Where am I supposed to get these from? Seriously, game. What were you talking about? So. Yeah. the bigger the scope gets in Factorio, the bigger the pain gets when something goes awry and you have to refix it. I really gotta say, for me, it's my C block mod, where I now look at all the stuff that I did, and I'm like, this is all so badly balanced. There are so many spots where I need to manually work all the time. I just want to erase it and never get back at it. And then I think like, but it's been so much work. Do you really want to do it all once? Really want to do it all again? Sure about that? And I'm like, no, okay, I'll keep my crap. But that's really one tough potato for me, the whole C block thing. All right, we almost got the necessary resources. Five hours! Holy crap. Yeah. I mean, the cool thing about this, I hope I didn't get this off wrongly. These content creators, they are all extremely cool guys, every one of them, really. But I feel like as a newcomer to for Factorio, their content doesn't really help you except for entertaining you well. You also learn a lot, but I always feel like whenever I watch somebody playing a game who's extremely much better than me, I do one thing. I start copying what he does or she does. And copying is tolerable, but I feel like whenever I start copying, I'm sucking out the fun. Because I'm supposed to solve these problems myself and not copy somebody else's solution, you know? But Ash, hi there. Happy to see you, man. You basically ignore ratios? You're ignoring the sacred ratio? How dare you? And how can you sleep at night? Nah, I'm a calculator. I love calculating things. But, luckily, there's several ways of playing the game and having fun with it, you know? Amazing things. So, let's slap down the cargo rocket silo and, let's see. If you have free space in the cargo rocket, consider filling it with various materials. No shit, Sherlock. So, the cargo rocket silo. We require one space capsule, we require cargo rocket sections, and we require liquid rocket fuel. That's why I wanted to set it up, because you get a nice readout about what it's all going to be once you get there. So, hey, we even get fuel costs for all of these things. Nice. All right, that's a completely different thing. So we need to build space capsules, rocket sections, and rocket fuel. All right, let's go. Luckily, we don't need the same stuff we needed there. So let's start on out with the recipe of a space capsule. I'll hate myself after looking it up, I guess. So, it ain't that horrible at all, actually. I imagined it worse. But we'll need explosives. Who the hell? How the hell? Okay. Didn't see that one coming. So, how many, wait a sec, delivery cannon capsule? No. Space cap. I was already thinking that this was way too easy. Ah, that's more like it. That's what I've expected to say. So, one of these suckers is going to eat an insane amount of resource. But a tenth of a space capsule per second is also way more than we're going to need. Because this would assume that we would be sending a rocket every 10 seconds. We won't. So let's keep it small and nice here. So what did I whip up here with the low density structures? We have here a blueprint for the production of 2 per second of these. I think this will be quite sufficient. Let's see. We need 1.3 for that, but this is again a very unrealistic number. Let's see. going to check on out for the cargo rocket sections. So, cargo rocket sections, they also require the same kind of junk. So, let's see how we're going to balance that out with one another. So, one of these factories is producing a tenth of a cargo rocket section. So, I definitely want to produce, like, let's say, 1 per second. That would be a rocket every 100 seconds, which is a lot. I don't know if we're going to be no. Let's scale that down. I was just seeing those numbers. I was like, no. Like you know, 2 rocket controls units per second. Do we want to look it up? Let's look it up. It's just 120 assemblers. Oh. Well, no. Let's go lower. Let's go 0.2. Let's go 0.2. That'll be like every 10 seconds 2 sections. That means we're going to do 50 in 100 seconds, and every 3 minutes and 20 seconds we could start a rocket with that setup. That sounds decent to me. That doesn't sound too crazy. The capsule is something you can save. Nitro, hi there. I am doing great. Thanks for asking. I hope you're having a great day yourself as well. So, let's see. You're right about the space capsule, Patrick. The space capsule is something, if I remember correctly, we get that rocket reusability, rocket survivability. So we don't necessarily need those parts every time all anew, if we get lucky, that is. So I think the stuff that I'm setting on up here looks quite realistic to me. Let's say we're aiming for something like, we're still going to aim for those 2 low-density structures per second, because low-density structures are your friend. They really are. You need them for lots of different things, and I think with that kind of backbone, we can easily upscale. Do you know how much capacity the cargo rocket has? If I remember correctly, it has 500 inventory slots. Basically, what you see here is the inventory of the cargo rocket, as far as I remember. I have set up in my last save file a facility which was able to launch cargo rockets, but not without my manual input. And when I realized what I did there and how bad I did it there, I wanted to give up and tear everything down. But I think all of us know that feeling in when we're playing Factorio. There's always that moment where you just want to smash the Lego tower and be like, screw this, I'm out of here. I'm going to rebuild that. So, here we go. Let's set up the spot where everything will be happening later. Mostly I want to get rid of all that excess stone there. Alright. So, I don't even know if my cargo rocket saddle will be really living there in the long run. So, let's see. We got that, we got that. We're going to need a tab for that. Let's take that tab, because the whole fertilizer thing has resolved itself. So, rocket control units. Oh, God. Simply looking at this hurts me, you know? So we're going to require 0.8 of these suckers. So we'll say that, well... Whew. Basically, this ain't enough. You know, basically this ain't enough. 1 of these guys per second. I don't think that we're going to be happy with that kind of production in the long run. So let's see. We're going to require 5 iron plate, 5 glass, 5 advanced circuits, and 5 batteries. So let's see. I erased the battery blueprint. Damn. Let's see. Glass, electronic components. Yeah, whatever. Give me a new one. So let's see. Batteries. So a production of 5 batteries will cost me 5 iron plates. Just wanted to know how much iron plate there is hidden in that production chain. And for 5 red circuits per second, well, okay. So that's only the red circuits for that. Let's see. We're going to require cargo pods and rocket fuel tanks. Let's check out how these are composed. Oh yeah, even more red circuit boards. So our new point here, say hi to my cat, will be, let's say we're going to do 7.5 of these guys. So we have 1.2 required there. We have 5 required there. This thing doesn't require any red circuits whatsoever. Okay. So we got that sorted out. We're going to need accumulators and solar panels, so we are going to require the entirety of the quartz and silicon production chain as well. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. That's why I feel like we're on a good ratio there. I really feel like we are. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about here is balancing out the throughput of the rocket control units. Maybe I'll even put them on a balancer and splitting out the production. 0.5 for the capsules, 0.5 for the rocket control units. And then I'll maybe configure the whole capsule thing to shut down once it has produced 1 capsule. You can't easily wire things up like that. So, just a couple of thoughts on my side. The cat, she's called Rhea. Her brother is also somewhere out there. She's quite a pain in the rear, so just so you know. She's growing old and stubborn and very eccentric. But I guess that's a cat in summary. So let's see, 1.3 units of heat shielding here, 0.8 units of heat shielding there. So we can easily stomach a production of 2 heat shieldings per second if we would be able to get that together. I don't see myself getting there, so let's at least produce 1.5. That sounds better, doesn't it? Yeah, alright. So slowly stuff is coming together. Slowly stuff is coming together. We're going to require fast inserters? Oh, come on, shoot me. Fast inserters. Yeah, the whole production chain there. But at least they only require basic materials that we can provide. But it's going to be quite an operation. So, one thing we're going to be able to prepare for us are green circuits. So let's see, I'm going to go through. In this department, we're going to consume 15 green circuits per sec. So we do seem to have a couple of consumers for green circuits on the other side. So our goal will be a facility of 15. And alongside with that, I'm going to build up a smaller facility with 5 per sec, which is going to provide the rest of what we're needing here. And that's going to drain out exactly 1 belt of copper plate. Perfect, isn't it? So let's see. And then we're going to use the remaining copper plate. Let's see. We'll need 7.5 on top of that. So there is really not that much excess copper there. So we only have 2.5 units of copper left at our disposal here. So the battery production is not possible with that. Do I really now need a 3rd belt of copper, eh? Well, I'd say we're going to try it with 2 belts of copper and see if it runs dry at some point, because there is a good chance that I'm overestimating the throughput right now. Well, I really don't have any clue whatsoever what I'm going to be needing in space, for real. I haven't set up a factory in space so far. I've only managed to get myself there once, and then that's that. So I really don't exactly know what I'm preparing myself for, but I think the scope of things that I'm aiming for is okay. We we should be able to size that up if necessary, and yeah. So the first things that I want to do next are these electronic circuits, because that's the next big thing. So we're going to require electronic components yet again. So good thing that I'm already producing plastic bars. I know why I do, you know. So here we go. Most of that plastic is already planned. Yeah, here. So we're going to require stupendous amounts of quartz and the like. So let's see. We're definitely going to require an own stone refining branch. Let's see where I'm going to put that up. I feel like that's going to be the first thing that's going to live on over here. And because I don't really see any good opportunity for me to produce my circuits somewhere else, except for here. This, though, looks like a pretty good spot to me. We already have some infrastructure for timber there. So what would we need? What would we be needing to transport over there? Stone, an entire belt of it, though. That's the big. That's the big problem there, and that's what's for me speaking against that. But then again, on the other hand, piping all the copper down there ain't an easy task either. So I'll bite a bullet one way or another. So what do we do in that scenario? Procrastinate. Let's catch ourselves some landfill and see how much we can erase about that lake down there. Because honestly, getting rid of that lake down there is going to be one long-term project. Well, Patrick, the solution is quite a simple one. This is, I don't know what you're talking, if you're referring to that part. This is just the starter base. I'm practically already planning the majority of the base down here. So we're going to flow down there. Because the mall that I run right now, I highly doubt that it will withstand the later stages of the game. Much more was my plan to have this spaceport alongside of this trailway here. You see that? The railway. And then we'll have all the room there to set up a new factory. We have the core fragment refining there. Most of the ore refining is happening there, and you can see it's going to be quite easy to get the logistics over there. So I did think about that problem this time. This time. So let me check. I want to check out. Yeah, it did only cost me 1,000 hours. Hey guys, did you know that we probably crossed the 1,000 hour line during this stream? Yay! 1,000 hours of my life spent into Factorio already. Goodness. At least what's a relief to me is knowing that a majority of that is AFK time. Or at least I like to tell myself that. Are other players in your game or NPCs? What? I have no other players here. This is entirely single player. You can play Factorio multiplayer though. There's Factorio has nice multiplayer implementation. Well, I personally consider Factorio as the mother of all automation factory gameplay out there. I mean, sure, Minecraft kind of like started the genre. Not gonna lie, Minecraft did a lot for us, but I feel like it's Factorio which put that entire topic to a completely new level. So, in case you're wondering, I really don't like to leave resources untapped. You wouldn't have noticed, wouldn't you? Alright. These on a... So we just need to get that stuff somehow into my copper, into my copper storage. Bottom down. All right. There we go. Ah, the names. That's the names of my train stations. But as far as I know, these train stations are named after Kickstarter backers or something like that. I would heavily assume so, at least. Without knowing anything. So, over there is my copper distributor. I ran out of belt, so yeah. You're right about that, Patrick, with the, that's a problem for next Thursday. Because I really feel like I'm shutting down my efforts for today. The thing we're going to do next time is going to be setting up the rest of the infrastructure there, but I really like to take a break of all these things because I really feel like I did a great job so far. I don't have that feeling often, but I feel like we're on a good path here. Like we don't get killed by falling cat. So let's connect that stuff there. Tapping into that copper and into that iron deposit, like these miniature ones, this and that, has been something I've been procrastinating for quite some time. But, you know, it might be not much, but I personally always feel like it's worth my time to pick that stuff up. Yeah, that's the train stations. So we're going to do something else here as well. I just realized that I can deplete these deposits way easier if I do this like that. We're just going to connect a warehouse in between. It's going to make the depletion of the ore patch happen a lot faster. So here's my train unloading station. Another star showed up. Well, let's see. Well, let's put that up here. This is my input line for the from the core mining facility, and this way we can't get rid of that stuff. With the warehouses connected, these miners now won't stop working, and the patches will be depleted fairly quick, or as quick as possible. So. Odd Realm? Yep. I am right now just waiting for a update or for the game getting finished, because it had a lot of blank spots when I clicked into it, but I got several recommendations by now, and what I saw so far, yeah, looks like something that I want to play. But lately, when it comes down to early access games, I have to limit myself a bit, because there's just so much time, you know? There's just so much time each day that you can't cover something. And, yeah. Early access titles that I feature are, well, as many as I can squeeze into my time frame, basically. Okay, then. We have it all for today. I'd say that's where I'll shut off the Factorio stream for today. We are going to stream something else now. I don't know what. Taking a short break, and then I'm going to hop on over into whatever crosses me next. So I thank you all for watching. Like I said, next stream will be at the very least happening next Thursday, maybe even earlier. I can't promise though. And leave me your comments down below. A thumbs up would be very welcome, and as well a subscription. And if you want to catch this stream next time live, in the description box you will find the links to my social media, where I post all the streams happening before they happen. You get what I say. It's Discord and Twitter where I do all this, and also check on out the support links in that description box if you want to help me out. There's Patreon, there's PayPal, and I'd be delighted if you did so. So, have a nice time, everybody, and see you soon. Have a good one.